Hey, fellas, it's been a long time since I've done a show. Let's go through some mail. I've been real busy lately. I'm finishing up a Kindle book, actually two of them, and other stuff. So let's see. Don't know where I left off at. I came in and looked at some mail, but I got distracted. Webinar help? No, that's been handled. Seems she's a playette and still in love. Cries after sex. I think I've dealt with that one also. Okay, let's start with the first one then. That's not highlighted, or actually highlighted. Guilt. What's up, ZenMac? Yeah, that works. I just started watching your videos a month ago. I like how you break the game and easy to understand, especially me since I lost my virginity. Well, I lost my virginity to a prostitute today since being a virgin was driving me crazy. I am a 21-year-old Mexican American, and I decided today I was gonna my virginity, but honestly, you mean gonna lose my virginity, but honestly, using a cell phone. That's why it's broken up like this. I feel kind of guilty right now because I'm afraid the prostitute I fucked might have an STD. She actually came up to me when I went to the liquor store today. She asked me if I was interested in fucking her. She was black and had the biggest breast and booty I've seen. I couldn't resist, so I said yeah to her. And everything happened at her hotel where she brings all her clients. I'm asking this because I heard that black women have a higher chance of getting an STD than any other woman out there. And yes, I did use a condom. Do you think I should get? Yeah, you might want to go in and get checked. But why do you think black women have a higher chance? You think that because their bodies are more susceptible? Actually, it's just the opposite. Uh, if someone has STD, doesn't matter who has it. They can get it. So white hoes, Asian hoes, Mexican hoes, black hoes, they all can be susceptible to STDs. Okay? You listen to a fallacy there, Castellano. It's one of them like fallacies out there that's floating around. I haven't heard it. This one. I did hear that there's a high incident of AIDS in the black community back in the 90s, late 90s, and that's because of the down low motherfuckers getting out of jail. It's over in the South, getting out of jail, and they couldn't let that shit go, and they're bringing AIDS out with them, and they still go back to getting fucked in the ass or fucking dudes in the ass. Okay, now we do have a high incident like your race of getting locked up. In fact, you guys ought to listen to Dr. Umar Johnson. He's a psychologist. He talks about what they're doing to black folks, black males. The prison system, he says, is a new slavery of today. If they find any reason, lock us up. All right. So yeah, go and get checked. Use the condom, but this type of stuff can go beyond a condom. If she had like herpes or something like that, most of them condoms, they usually work pretty well, but always get checked. Okay. Tall ass giraffe. Hey Supreme, just giving you a quick rundown of my game and a question. I've been following you for a minute, and thanks to you, my game has steadily improved. A good amount of hookups here and there. I'm currently talking to this one chick that I'm trying to put on my team. The hardest part seems to be to get them to stick around. A lot of females don't like to share. You got that right. And that's the challenge. Should I just lay out how I feel? I'm dating, trying to find Mrs. Right. That's what I did at the end of my game. I got tired of ducking and dodging and shit, and being dishonest. Plus, when I got on the Pimps Network, that's what they were doing. And it was more of a challenge, but when you back it up with good sex, the best sex they ever had, they stick around a little bit longer. But remember, it's still going to be cop and blow. They're still going to blow out eventually. Okay? Let's see, and build a stable. Okay, so that answers your question there. So let's move on to the next one. Success story and losing the V card. Hey, Player Supreme. What's up, Pepper? I'm sending this message to give you props for great advice in all your videos and what they have helped me accomplish in terms of success with women. Oh man, you wrote me a book. Damn. Wow, that's a lot to read. A little about me first. I graduated from high school a few months ago as not only a virgin, but a kissless one at that. Talking to, flirting with women was intimidating, and I was the epitome of the nice guy, always befriending women and hoping that just maybe that would lead to something more. I'm a freshman in college now, and I've been watching your channel, both the old one and this one. I'll be going back to the old one in a couple of months. As soon as it gets, I believe the last ding gets off in about another month or two. It takes about 6 months to get rid of each ding. And I'll keep it clean next time. Since the beginning of the school year, I felt as though everything I thought about women, relationships, sex was torn down. I realize now that being a nice guy would never get me laid to get me a girlfriend. Or get me a girlfriend. Yeah, especially at your age, you got to be more aggressive. They're just not sexually attracted to nice guys. If you're a nice guy, I'm really sorry. You got the wrong deck of cards that you're dealing out there, man. And you guys know who you are, you nice guys. Women just don't find you sexually attractive. They find you have the attraction or sexual attraction of, like one girl said, an ear. Yuck. Can you imagine the sexual attraction of a fucking ear? Wow. So I think by running that nice guy program that you put into yourself, or was put into you, I think you might want to change the program a little bit. All right. Thus I said to myself that slowly but surely I would transform myself from the simp beta male that I was in high school to a confident alpha male. Beta is not actually a bad male. When the alpha males are available for a woman for sexual pleasure, they go to beta males. It's zeta males. That's the lowest worm on the earth. That's the nerds. No offense to you guys who are nerds, but you guys have no sexual attraction to women. Although I did talk to one of my clients. She's an older woman, and that's what she wants, is a nerd now. That's about her height. That she's about she's 5 feet tall. I would definitely credit your videos with helping me in that transition. You gave a lot of simple yet powerful advice for attracting women, such as getting her life story, showing a genuine interest in her, dressing better, having the balls to escalate sexually, etc. As I watched your channel, I took this information to heart and started noticing drastic changes in the way women responded to me. In fact, just this weekend, I lost my V-card after meeting a girl at a party and chatted her up, then taking her back to my place and going all the way. Good job, Pepper. Make sure you use protection now. I was just telling Twin Spartan last night, I'm coaching Twin Spartan. We meet on Skype and I give him some assignments. So if you try to call me on Skype, I'm not going to pick up because the only reason I'm on there is to coach. Okay? And that would interfere with my coaching session. But anyway, let me get back to reading this. We'll go on to this another time. So he lost his V-card. Good. I was surprised at how effortless the seduction felt. Then I realized that it was partially due to taking a lot of your advice from your videos and practicing it in real-life applications until it became second nature. If that's the one thing I took from this whole zero to hero journey, it was exactly that. Becoming better with women requires practice. A lot of guys just get suckered into the PUA community and believe it's some magic pill that would make them Don Juans. They pay hundreds of dollars for ebooks. I was tempted to do just that. So I'd imagine there are desperate guys out there who wouldn't think twice about it and think that just reading it without actually applying it will get them somewhere. Meanwhile, I was able to learn from your advice and put it into practice until it became natural. In closing, I'd like to thank you for putting up such great BS free information on YouTube for guys who want more success with women. I also hope that I can serve as an example for other guys who feel that they'll never get laid no matter what they do. Believe me, I felt the exact same way for a while. Looking back, I realized that in the course of 5 months, I went from never having kissed a girl to doing all kinds of stuff in bed. Like anything, it just takes practice and keeping a positive mindset. Law of attraction, a concept I've heard you stress many times. I know this was a long message, and hopefully you realize just how helpful your advice is. Keep doing what you're doing. Much respect to you, Player Supreme. And Pepper, thank you very much for that long ass email. Excuse me. But it was worth it. Okay, North Africans' population carry the signature of admix with Neanderthals. And that's because the North Africans are mixed with Europeans. That's why the Egyptians look the way they do. Liberians, there's been a rush of European invasion up there because it's close to Spain and stuff. Okay. He's writing back again. Mitochondrial DNA transit between West Asia and North Africa inferred from U6 phylogeography. And I'll look at that another time. Let's see. Scroll down the page to the secrets of locks unrevealed. All right, Akil. Subculture. Hello, Player Supreme. Thank you for posting the video with the African art and history. It was very interesting. I do have a question. What your take on subculture? Example, the metal Sean or goth Sean. I don't know what Sean means. Or Sean, S-E-A-N. I don't know what that means. Or country or raver or rock, billy or rap for that matter. Punk and blues come to the mind as well. It's a good to be a part of Sean. You must be in someplace like Ireland or someplace there, brother. Or should it be avoided? I don't know what Sean is. Someone enlighten me on that one. Unfortunately, I'm behind on this one. Every Sean is very different from each other. Genre, you mean? Are you talking about genres? Is that a European word for genre? But what's my take on them? Let's see. Being raised by a musician, I can kind of understand, the creativity of music and all different way it breaks up and people reform stuff and, the way they see music. I think music kind of expresses what's inside a group of people. Like people who like heavy metal, that's their energy. That's why they gravitate to heavy metal. Because the people who develop that, that's what's in them. So if they like that head-banging stuff, they're headbangers. Okay? People that like goth, look at the people that gravitate to goth. They walk around, vampire, that kind of shit. Doing the masquerade. That kind of shit, people it's inside of them. So it comes out. Okay? So all of these like ravers, rockabilly, that's what's inside of them. Punk is my generation. Those motherfuckers, it kind of, I believe it came from England, of course. All the weird terror shit and all that stuff. Blues, these black folks developed blues because look what happened to us in this country. Well, actually, white folks, you guys would commit suicide. You guys would kill yourself if you had to go through what black folks went through in this country. I'm not trying to throw the race card out there and all this shit, but just trying to enlighten you guys. And, you know, look what white folks did because of the stock crash. You guys studied that in history of the 1920s. They jumped out the buildings. All they lost was money. Now, the people that destroyed Black Wall Street, those people, they didn't kill themselves. They lost everything. They went on building. You know, I just heard from a white woman yesterday that she admired the strength of black women. She said black women are so strong. Because she was struggling. She's struggling with just one child. You know, because her husband left her. And what am I going to do? I don't want. Black women are 70% single mothers. And there are good black women out there that work a job and they're going to school and trying to raise their families. I'm not trying to make it look like, I know it seems like it's a race thing is better, but I'm trying to point out that, you know, you white folks, you gotta get stronger up here when disaster happens. That's just it. You know, you gotta get stronger. You know, we've been used to disaster for 40 years. Think about it. You know, the slavery thing, and then after that, the KKK killing us, all this kind of stuff. So we kind of got numbed down to disaster type stuff, you know, trouble. So that's how we developed blues. And we developed, we're at the beginnings of rock. It's about every music style that's out there, actually. You'll find there was someone black back there helped develop it, bring it to the front. That's how we developed tap dancing. The masters were afraid of the drumming because that's, you know, in Africa they had different types of script. They said Africans they have script. We actually had written script. We had drumming script, okay? We had a click script, a verbal script. That's forms of communication, you know, written communication. We didn't have to write it down. Sometimes they drummed it, okay? And they took away the drums. They were scared of the communication between the different tribes. A man of one tribe would start drumming to see if other people were out there. And then he would hear, they'd listen in the distance, and the other person from his tribe started drumming. So he started communicating. And the masters got afraid. They took away the drums, they forbid the drums, because they were having trouble in Haiti. With the voodoo priest, and if you study the history of Haiti, Haiti kicked Europe's ass. 3 different Europeans, English, French, and the Spaniards, kicked their ass, scared the shit out of them. And they had, you know, they're backed up by the voodoo people, their priests, drums and all that stuff. So that's why, you know, Haiti is in the situation it's in. You know, the white supremacy does not like the fact that Haiti won its independence. The whole agenda. So anyway, getting back to that, so they took away that, we started beating on pots and pans, they took away that. So just like with capoeira, we hid it within a dance, our martial art that we took from Africa. They did the same thing. They hid it within a dance. They got their shoes, started tapping the same stuff on wood. Okay? And disguised it as a dance. And you know, the masters out there, yeah, go on dance, doggy! Ha! 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 The whole time we're communicating back and forth. All right. That's our show for the day, fellas. And I want you guys to get the fuck out of your house. As I just told my fellas today on my forum, let me make sure. Yep. It's Friday. Get out. That's the title of today's show. I'm actually finishing up putting the show up right now, in fact. It was just sitting there in limbo. Alright, it's Friday. Get out. You got to get out of your house. Okay? As I told my fellows today, if you have a fear of going to the club, then it's not in you. You're not meant to be a player. Okay? Because a nightclub, or all those other different types of venues that are outside of your home, that's where the pussy is. Actually, the pussy's at the nightclub. That's the biggest place of pussy. That's where pussy goes to meet dicks. The two come together in a nightclub. So if you're afraid to go to where the two come together, you're one weak motherfucker. You're not meant to breed. That's your inner nature communicating to you. So that's what you're going to have to overcome. All right? As I said before, nerds aren't meant to breed. That's why your sex drive is so low. Normal guy's sex drive is really amped up. I mean, I told you guys about, I want to see how many girls I fucked in one day. And by the way, these are girls I already knew. I got to 7. And a couple of these. All right? So my sex drive was amped up. And if I didn't go to the nightclub, I felt down. I had to go to the nightclub. I was compelled to go to the nightclub because I wanted pussy. It's got to be a strong drive within you. If you don't have that strong drive to get pussy, which obviously many of you don't really have a strong drive. You think you do, but look at the problems you're putting in your way. So that's, your inner nature trying to say something. You got to blast that inner nature and let your balls grow. So that strong desire comes up through you. And you have a burning desire to get to the nightclubs where the pussy is. Because that's where the pussy is. Don't take it from the pickup artists. Actually, they changed. In the beginning, pickup artists said, don't go to nightclubs. Well, that's why they developed that whole day game thing. Running chicks down the streets while they're trying to work and fucking with them. Subway game. Park game. Every place but where the game really is. You notice how these motherfuckers get it backwards? Now they preach, go to nightclubs. Thank you. Thank you for coming around to reality. And that's where the women are, in the nightclubs. So get your punk asses out of your house and get your motherfucking ass to the clubs. All right? Peace.